Which I was like, that just comes out of nowhere.
Well, she was a sheriff or a police officer.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, I'm like, she also went to jail like 3 times.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, that doesn't stop people.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Hello, and welcome to the Lost and Faded podcast, where we get faded and lost into our movie on film for the week. This week, Mickey17 with me, Byron, and Colleen and Tyler.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
How we feeling about this movie?
I liked it.
I thought it was good, definitely. I feel like I need to watch it again.
I feel like I would pick more up.
Yeah,
Definitely.
probably.
Yeah.
I'm still weird about it. I feel like we can get to like that stuff later. As I roll up, we could talk about the plot and stuff. Everyone sit back, relax, and roll up. So how do you feel about Robert Pattinson?
I love him. He's really good at doing a bunch of different like dynamics as an actor. Like I feel like I haven't really seen him in a role like this where he's all like kind of nerdy and timid and I really liked that.
The voice is hilarious. I
His
love the
little
voice.
I don't know how I feel about that. I'm like me.
The man loves his weird roles. Like every role he goes to, he talks about how weird he felt about it. Like in Harry Potter, he felt like he had to hold his wand like a gun, or else he felt kind of like a nerd. After hearing that, he's kind of just become like a favorite actor for a lot of guys because he picks the weirdest roles. He even thought Batman was a weird role.
Well, and then he did like the boy in the hair and like he's done voice acting. So
Yeah.
like I feel like that's why he was kind of like, okay, I can like play around with my voice a little bit more in this.
Which I really do love it. I do feel weird about how much voice-over work he's doing in this movie.
Yeah, there was a lot.
It was a lot, I feel like.
And I feel like there was a lot of filler in the movie.
I did hear there were some production issues, but I don't recall what they were.
Well, because wasn't it supposed to come out a few months ago?
So actually, yeah, it was supposed to come out a few months ago. It was delayed at least 2 to 3 times. And this was filmed in like 2022. Wow. So
That's crazy.
It's been a minute. I've heard people, I guess, seen the movie in 2023 and other people have seen it in 2024.
Us test audience?
Yeah.
That's wild.
And I'm just like, I want to know how much changed about it, because I feel like this voiceover stuff probably like was part of the changing over stuff, limiting the dialogue in the movie.
Yeah, they probably had a lot of B-roll that they just like kind of used
I felt like
with voiceovers.
Yeah, sorry for cutting you off. I feel like the first act was really strong, and I feel like the final act really set like the tone for the rest of the movie. But the middle just felt like they were trying to figure out ways to pull the two together and make it fluid. And sometimes it felt like it lost the plot, and other times it felt like it just came back out of nowhere.
Maybe we should. I realized we didn't really talk about the plot at all. So this follows a dude who's expendable, who's trying to escape some loan debt people.
Yeah.
Loan sharks.
Loan sharks. So he's like, I'll be expendable, and basically he's the only expendable on that ship, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, only one per ship.
Yeah, so they basically put him through like some dangerous situations, let him die, and then they reprint him through a whole machine.
He's basically a lab rat.
Yeah.
Like they try different like medicines and gases and like things like that on him, different foods, like but then also just very dangerous situations to be in. So
Literally, and this is basically a focus on the 17th Mickey, which when I first got or was watching the trailer, I was like, I thought we would see a lot more of the other lives.
yeah. Well, and I thought also too it was gonna be more like I just kind of thought of like that one picture of SpongeBob where everything is on fire in his brain and he's just running around. That's kind of what I thought the movie was gonna be like. Like I thought there was just gonna be 17 loose Mickeys.
I thought it was going to be more comedic chaos, yeah.
Yeah.
It's much more about like death and the idea of cloning and what's morally right and wrong about those things.
Yeah, big ethics commentary.
So how do you guys feel about Mark Ruffalo in this?
He ate down.
It was an interesting character.
He made you uncomfortable, which means he was doing a good job acting.
He was having fun with it.
He was. And you can definitely tell who he was being a caricature of, but I thought he really did well.
They had red hats in there.
That's what I turned to him and I was like, commentary. That's why I think Mark Ruffalo had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I think so too, yeah. Which it was very obvious in a lot of ways what he was doing and what they were writing for. Which I guess in the book, which this whole movie is based off a book. I know there's like at least 2 books.
Okay.
In the book, his character Marshall is more like a military, strong leader type person. They completely changed the role for this movie.
Interesting.
This movie kind of gave me like Starship Trooper vibe, and it was definitely trying to like make fun of a large government like idea and push it into the idea of space travel.
Yeah, literally with how even how the people were acting when they first got on the ship, and he just came on to do a speech, and they were all freaking out, and then half the other people were like, "He's not really doing anything."
Yeah, it was kind of like culty, but it's like if you wanted to do this space stuff, like
At the time, he was
that
getting
part of
his
it.
wife's approval.
Yeah.
He didn't know what he was doing in the
Hugging a
movie.
little too close in this movie, and in public, they're just like cuddled up together, like
They said PDA to the extreme.
But they were also like, we can't have sex yet.
yeah.
They said abstinence only.
that was a weird little rant. in
It
this.
was.
and it didn't even play that much part into the movie.
I think they just did that to show that Mickey and Nasha were kind of like breaking rules.
Yeah, like
But
just
they didn't care because they were in love.
I felt like when they showed off other people on the ship, besides like Mickey and Nasha and his like group of friends, it was much more to show off their opinions and perspectives on the thing that Mickey's dealing with.
yeah.
And it didn't really show off much of the characters themselves.
Yeah.
No, they weren't like you didn't really know much about that society outside of that group. How do you guys feel about Nasha?
I liked her, but also with the like when there was 2 Mickeys at the same time, I feel like that would stress me out.
Nah, she was loving that.
No, but I just feel like because it's 2 different personalities too,
Yeah.
so it's like I would be like, you're not the person that I love.
Literally.
Like that would scare me.
That puts more in question of her. Is she in love with actual Mickey or just the different personalities that like?
The idea of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't know the real. Well, she knew the real Mickey like for a little bit, but then all she knew was different types of Mickeys, and which I didn't like. Which this isn't really too much of a spoiler. I didn't like how we didn't really explore the other different personalities of the other Mickeys.
Yeah.
Like we got like one sentence about it, but then we only have these 2 distinct ones. Like we couldn't get a third one to get a real idea.
Yeah. Well, and like something that I thought was interesting too, like with the Expendables, your memory is basically uploaded like on a cloud, and then when you get reprinted, your memories are put back like into your consciousness. I feel like, do you remember how you die, or like I don't know.
No, yeah, they don't really explain it. And like even with Mickey 18, which there was a little scene in the beginning, also not really a spoiler, but one of the lab people tripped over his like when they were putting his memories back, and that's why 18 was kind of probably more crazy.
Yeah.
Because of just that minor slip up. And they just don't even like explore stuff like that
Yeah.
in this.
I felt like they used the Mickeys more as a plot device than anything else. Like, there's a part in the end where they're just like, oh, we tested this on you. And I didn't even realize that happened. Like, I know they used him as a guinea pig, but it was used for other things. Like, when they originally get to the planet they go to, they use him as a way to make sure they can breathe the air that's there. But with the end, all of a sudden, there's a way that they can use a pathogen to kill, like, a bunch of stuff.
Like basically like a Agent Orange kind of thing. Like they just like put that outside and like kill everything. It was interesting, like the science, like future aspects of it, but it was also like, again, a lot of ethics questions where it's like, okay, is this ethical to do? Even if it's a clone, that's still a person with a consciousness and memories, and like it's weird. It makes you think.
That really makes me think, and even like how you're saying that, it reminded me of how, wait, actually, let's just get into the faded talk so we could talk about spoilers.
Okay.
And stuff.
Tea.
I rolled up some Durban Skittles. Let's get started.
I'm about to be scared.
But okay, with what you were saying, it reminded me of that part with Timo where he was fucking like, he left him to die in the beginning.
Yeah,
the
Timu
kid.
was his friend, by the way. His best friend. The reason that he actually became an expendable because Timu used him as an out for the loan sharks, and then they both joined the space program. And Mickey was like, "Yeah, just make me an expendable. I don't care." And Timu was not, 'cause like we said, there's only one per ship.
Yeah, he got to be a pilot somehow.
Yeah, he made a
Literally.
deal.
He's a
And
schmuck.
Dude, fuck Timo.
yeah, this was the first time I didn't like Stephen Young's character.
He played it so well, though.
Yeah, I think he had fun.
He definitely did.
Yeah, but like even when it got to the part kind of towards the end, where he was like, "Okay, well, I have to send a video of me killing you, and they'll get off my back," because there was the two Mickeys at that point, so they were like, "Decide which one of you, decide amongst yourselves," and then that ended up not working out. But
No. Because, like, bro, it feels like he always is, like, doing the most easiest way out. He's like, let me leave Mickey here. I'm not going to save him, even though I know he's alive. And I haven't seen him die. Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to go back and I'm going to take the flamethrower for my drugs.
literally, yeah, I forgot there was some weird drug parts of it where it was like oxytocin or
Yeah,
whatever.
some shit like that.
I was like, okay, just say like, just use the ones that we used to use, like.
Yeah, I don't.
Say Quaaludes, like I don't care.
No, they just bring this random drug plot that didn't even really do much to the movie.
No, it just made people a little like, wow.
Yeah.
It seemed like a lot of people were doing it within the ship. And maybe it was supposed to be an idea of like them dancing with death, kind of like how Mickey has.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Maybe.
That's the only thing I can think of for that.
I don't know. I feel like even for this movie, I feel like a lot of characters don't even grow.
No.
There's really not character development, except for Mickey, and that's like at the very, very end.
Yeah, it's very minimal too.
Literally, it's like, and basically the only like character development is that they stop the expendable program, so Mickey17 is just Mickey Barnes again.
Literally, he's like, I get to experience life.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, ignoring everything.
Literally, I'm like, you're gonna have PTSD, my guy. That's a human experience.
Literally, you.
And I feel like Nasha, his girlfriend, was a strong character, but I felt like whenever the story got involved with her, she would just give up all of her thoughts for the idea of having Mickey.
Yeah, I felt like she was such a weird character.
Yeah.
I didn't understand her motives, like, especially when she first met Mickey and was basically like, I'm in love with you immediately.
Literally.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's going on there?
I mean, probably lonely in space.
And at first, she wanted to keep Mickey 17 and 18 for herself, but as soon as Kaya got involved, she's like, you know what? Yeah, you can have the other one.
Yeah,
like, just
Kaya-
don't get us in trouble.
I also didn't understand that whole plot point. I was
Her
like, this isn't
character.
relevant.
Yeah. I know in the book, I guess she has more of a, like, more plot to her and they just left it out and just left half this character sitting there that's involved with the plot, but then just disappears halfway through the movie.
I know. I was like, she was barely part of it at the end. Like, they just showed her at the end. And I was like, okay, lesbian. Work.
I think she
did-
was in the cafeteria with them when,
Yeah.
like, she first started hitting on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was, yeah.
Yeah, but that's the only time you see her.
It's so weird. I don't know. I think that's they're all just lonely and horny up there. Trying to hook up with everyone.
It could have been the chastity because they were told not.
Yeah, it's like abstinence. Like, if you're taught abstinence only education, you're going to want to do it.
Yeah,
you know?
They're just getting high and fucking in that shit.
Literally.
As Mickey's dying every day.
Something I did like when they would reprint Mickey, how it would do like when you're printing something out and then it like buffers and then goes back out. I liked that.
Poor Mickey, though, they never left the table out.
No, literally the one part where he's just like straight back.
They let him fall and then they just hit a needle him like immediately.
I'm like, poor guy. Again, and it's like a big ethics thing.
Yeah.
And I've like thought about this before because like I feel like cloning is something that could happen in our lifetime.
Most likely.
And I'm like, okay, if you can clone people or like people, I mean, they already do like weird cloning stuff with dogs
Yeah.
where it's like you can like have your dog cloned so that you have the same dog forever. And I'm like, that's weird.
That's weird. That is weird.
Because it's just like a
'Cause
matter
it's
of,
not the same dog.
it's not the same dog. And it's like, this is a different life. Like, it's weird. Cloning freaks me out.
Yeah, and the way they just were like kind of just throwing Mickey bodies, just like one was alive and they were like, "We'll refrain you." Just
Literally, they were like, "Oh, he's still alive," because they would burn him. They would burn his bodies, and that's how they would know that they reprinted him. I feel like, but then they didn't do that when 17 didn't die.
and that whole like duplicates thing, it's like barely explored. I feel like.
It's just like another plot device of the clones. It's like they throw in a random cut to a different situation, and it's like, okay, that makes sense, but why does everybody just ban that idea right away? I guess it's supposed to give into the idea of like reality, where some people talk about very controversial topics, and you got to figure out what's right there, but you can't really.
We didn't really touch on the creepers either.
We'll get to those. I have a lot to say about that whole plot.
Word.
But even with that, like, that story they had of the duplicates with the 3 guys, I was like, I kind of like that. I wish that was more of in the actual plot. Like, maybe Mickey18's like, fuck it, let's keep printing me.
But the printers, the materials were always recycled into like a huge vat of all the other organic and non-organic materials. I feel like he would slowly be losing his personality and like what makes him him with each time he gets recycled through that too.
Yeah.
So just the universe in that movie makes me feel like cloning really isn't a good idea.
No, not at all. Especially that dude, it took 3 of them for one to turn evil. And Mickey is like 18 and then one of them's evil. And I'm just like, you should know as soon as they just all have different like personalities, even if it's little, that's just something isn't right. Yeah, we should stop it.
Like, maybe this isn't a good idea. Maybe we shouldn't do this. Maybe we should have stopped when those 3 guys went crazy.
Yeah. But no, they were like, for space, it's okay. Like, no.
Especially you're all stuck on a ship. You can't even get away.
What if they sent out a ship with like expendable and that dude took over and it's just a ship of hymns out there and they come back? They didn't think about that.
It's just like a pirate ship
That's a sequel.
of Mickey's.
Mickey 32 or something.
Well, I get like not wanting to use up valuable resources, and you can't just send all the normal humans out to fix stuff. Usually in space movies, there's like a robot to do what Mickey does.
That's true. There wasn't really like
So
robots.
would it have been better if it was a robot?
Yeah, it probably.
Wow.
What if the robot
Watch
could
our
feel?
companion episode.
Yeah. They have feelings too. Okay.
Yeah, it's such weird. It makes you think. And
does.
like we were kind of saying, like I would want to watch it again to get another overview of it to kind of see. But also there's so much filler in this movie.
Yeah, there's so much. I don't know if I
Like, I
would.
don't want to watch it again.
I would if I could like fast forward a little bit.
Maybe like when it comes out on streaming, I'll be like, yeah, I'll watch it again. But we should talk about the creepers.
Yeah, I was about to say, let's talk about the fucking creepers.
They were adorable as fuck.
They were little roly polies.
I've never seen something so horrifying, but yet so adorable.
They were like roly poly armadillos, but with a little scariness.
With a little bit of like 90s alien vibes, like E.T. or something like that. And I thought that they were cute. It was like a mix of a roly-poly and like an elephant. And then all of a sudden, when all those ligaments open up, it's like, oh, what the heck? It's like a face hugger.
Literally. And it's crazy that they were never aggressive. All they did was kind of like come at you and like jump on them and stuff, but they were never biting or anything.
It's like the same energy as like when a spider is on you and you're like, ah.
Yeah, true.
Like,
Which I wouldn't want that thing on me either.
or like
Get the fuck
he doesn't
off.
want, like when we went to school, there were squirrels on the quad and I would always try to go up and pet them and he was like, I was scared they were gonna jump on my arm.
No, don't mess with squirrels. I don't do that. I agree with Tyler.
I agree with it.
I wanted to befriend them and be a Disney princess, so
We got this on film. Think about it.
Things of squirrels attacking people.
I don't want them to get to a spot where I can't grab them. Like if they're in my back and I can't reach. That's
See, that's
a little
fun.
freaky. Yeah.
that's how I feel about bugs.
That's
But the creepers, they saved Mickey17, and that's why he was able to get back to the base. And they had already reprinted the other Mickey by that point. I feel like it's commentary again on nature and like things like that. Like it's like animals aren't there to hurt you. Like nature isn't out to get you. You're in their home.
Literally.
Let them be.
And Marshall, he like all he does is hear someone was killed, and like during that situation, not even how they were killed, I don't think. And he just was like, "They're dangerous.
Yeah.
They'll kill us." I'm just like, bro, maybe you should go explore that shit. You have Mickey.
He's not brave enough.
No, he's not.
No, that's what they were using Mickey for, and that's why he was left there. But
True.
It kind of shows how the real world works once again, because like information goes through a chain of command, and it's like a game of telephone. So if something happens out in the field, it gets back to a president or a leader of some sort, and they're like, "Wait, this happened?" And it's like, sorta, but you got the right idea, and they move along with it.
I feel like it was also commentary about like community, and like they didn't really have community on the ship.
No.
Like they all just coexisted, but the animals were all working together
True.
to protect their family. And it's like they didn't do that on the ship. Like it was like Mickey and Nasha and Timu was there sometimes, but he was a dick, and like we didn't want him there because like what's his deal? And it's like, and then Kai comes in sometimes, and she's like, "I kind of like you," and he's like, "I'm taken." So it's like there was no community on that ship.
No.
And they all just coexisted. And I feel like that's why the ending was kind of relevant with like okay, since you killed one of our babies, we need to take one of your people.
And I feel like it's because they were so restricted with what they could do on the ship. And like, even though like Marshall thought that the whole thing was unified because of the company or the church or whatever they call it in the movie, that like he didn't realize that like things aren't what he expects, and people aren't okay with the things he does necessarily. Like when they have the dinner party, it's like, what do you mean this is for science purposes? Why wouldn't we want to have a renewable meat that we can create?
Yeah.
Like at least this guy can live if he dies from this.
That dinner scene was insane.
It was stressful.
It was very stressful.
I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Mark Ruffalo being like, "We're going to use you to create the perfect race." And Kai was like, "Excuse me?" And then they give Mickey poison. And then they tried a new medicine on him. It was a mess.
It was wild. And they were just like, well, I don't know what went wrong. Like, everything.
Yeah.
And the scientist dude.
See, okay, and I went to the bathroom right before that scene, and I came back and they were having dinner, and then I just come back and it's like, "I want you to be part of the perfect, basically Aryan race." And I was like, what happened?
I couldn't even tell you. That movie it was very different tones. At times it felt like it was like two different movies.
It felt campy, and then it felt satirical. It bounced between the two. I kind of enjoyed it, but I truly feel like I need to go read the book or something to get a different perspective.
I would enjoy the book if I read it. And like, I'm not into sci-fi that big, but like, I feel like I would enjoy it because there would be more to each character. Yeah. And there would actually probably be some character development and stuff. And that's just what the movie lacked a lot of.
Yeah, a lot of that, and the pacing. Dude, oh my God.
It felt like it was 3 hours. I'm not going to lie. Wicked was almost 3 hours, had way better pacing.
Yeah. No, because there was so many points where I was like, is it finally ending? Please just end it right here. And it just kept going.
Literally. I was like, man, I want to go home. The ending also, so I know I kind of touched on it when we were talking about the creepers, but with the like eye for an eye thing, it was like, okay, so Mickey18 decided to blow himself up with Marshall by him because Marshall was trying to kill both of the Mickeys. It was supposed to be the exciting conclusion, and I was just like, this felt anticlimactic because I figured this was going to happen. Like, as soon as he was like, I have this thing with 2 buttons and I can blow them up at any point, I was like, so one of them's gonna die, and it's probably gonna be 18
Yeah.
because Mickey-17
Hopefully
has
18.
better morals.
And after he blew it up, I was like, okay, multiple of the crawlers died, so why isn't the mama mad? And then also, it was a pathogen, right? So isn't it supposed to like spread and kill more? Because I thought they tested
No,
that.
I think they were gonna do the pathogen to all of the creepers, so they were gonna let that out.
I
But
thought the
then
pathogens
that's why
were on the Mickeys.
I don't believe so.
Oh, okay, that's my mistake.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, because I think it was them being like, okay, we're gonna gas out this planet and then leave,
Yeah.
and they didn't do that.
And then after all that, we had another just weird ending stuff. Where is that ceremony or whatever?
Yeah, Nasha's a fucking like governor now, basically.
Which I was like, that just comes out of nowhere.
Well, no, it's a sheriff or a police officer.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, I'm like, she also went to jail like 3 times.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, that doesn't stop people.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, like I just felt like it was very out of left field, and like then Mickey was just like gushing over her, being like, and you know, Nasha, like she's a natural born leader, and blah blah blah. I'm like, do you guys even love each other?
I was like, were they watching the same movie as us?
I kind of saw their relationship throughout. It was a very small detail.
I feel like 18 more than 17, if we're being real.
Definitely.
She liked a bad boy.
But she took what she could get. She wasn't gonna let Kai get it.
Not she took. She said, "I'm gonna settle for 17." That's crazy. Another reason cloning is scary.
And then that
What
weird...
if you get replaced?
Yeah, exactly. I didn't like that.
The ending was weird, and basically the ending was them being like, "Okay, we're getting rid of the what were they called? Expendables."
Yeah.
The Expendables program, and so Mickey blew up the printer at the end. But he was like not doing it, and I was like, "Do you want to even do this?"
Yeah, he had like a weird dream sequence.
Yeah, that dream sequence was so it was so random. I don't know what's going on in this movie.
Honestly, if you like took some kind of hallucinogenic and then watched this movie, you'd probably make sense.
I think that dream was supposed to be like, we can easily recreate the governor again, or another person just like the governor will pop up and replace him, like his wife, because she was there half the time, having him like whispering into his ear, telling him what to do.
Yeah, she was probably whispering about sauces.
Or it's like
Mr. Krabs, I need the secret formula.
literally, yeah. She's such a talented actress, and I feel like, I mean, she was kind of like funny in this one. At
Yeah,
least.
she was
She
funny.
brought the comedy to this, but it was also like, babe, stand up.
Yeah. A lot of the humor was weird, too.
It was. It makes you like uncomfortable, but not in a good way.
Yeah. Did you guys feel like that lady in the beginning with the red hair was going to have like a bigger role in the movie? Or Mickey was like, I remember her smell or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was so weird. What was going on there?
Was that just a nod to Twilight?
I'm not too sure. It was, he was stuck on her hair smell for a second, and then he just got into space and you forgot about it. I guess it's the fact that he's like a docile kind of guy.
Yeah, no. It was just like,
That voiceover, it was too much voiceover, I felt like.
I'm Mickey, and
I was like, all right. Are we going to let the characters talk?
is there dialogue in this movie?
I remember there was a few scenes where they definitely muted the characters and they were just letting Mickey talk over what they were saying.
We accidentally left subtitle descriptions on.
They said, we forgot the boom mic at home.
All right, so what overall did you guys like about the movie?
I thought it was good because it made you think. And I like things that make me think. I like things that like teeter on ethics because it's like, it's hard, especially when it's like a futuristic sci-fi movie where it's like, what if this does happen? So it's just, I like a lot of like the what ifs and the ethics of it.
Yeah, the answer, the questions you have, but they barely give you answers.
Yeah, I wish you got more answers, but you don't. So.
I like the campy vibes for it when it's campy. I wish it would just stick with a tone.
Yeah.
So,
It didn't follow the tone the trailer left for it, and that just surprised me. I probably would have liked it more if the trailer matched up to what the movie actually was.
yeah.
I still really enjoyed the movie, though.
I thought it was good.
Yeah.
It was just kind of all over the place, and there was a lot of filler that I felt like didn't need to be there.
They could have cut off at least 30 to 40 minutes, I feel like.
How long was that movie anyways?
It was,
2 hours, 17 minutes.
yeah.
that felt longer.
It did. It felt like, yeah, like 240. That's what it felt like.
And that's what Wicked is.
There's another Robert Pattinson movie where he's in space that I feel like's a lot better than that movie. And it talks about kind of the same ideas of death, but it also goes into, so in that movie, I think it's called High Times. It's about a Robert Pattinson's character that was arrested and he got sent out into space on a mission in order to like clear his sentence, but it's actually just them like throwing him to death into the
That's crazy.
emptiness of space. Yeah. And he's on a ship with 4 other people, kind of like Lethal Company. And they are tasked to do these things, but in reality, they know they don't actually have to do it anymore. So they're just floating to their death and you're watching, seeing what's happening. It gave me a very similar vibe until they landed on the planet.
I'm gonna check that out.
I haven't seen it.
Me either.
A lot more gritty, but it's definitely a good movie. He likes his weird stuff.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
That's what we like about him. He just does whatever he wants.
He didn't want to do Twilight, though. He regretted that probably by the end of it.
But it led him to get to this place.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's called growth.
Yeah, which this movie lacks. I'm sorry.
No, it does, though. It's not like a bad movie. Like, I don't think that it's like, oh God, this is the worst movie I've ever seen. It was just like, there was a lot of stuff that it was like, did we need to do this?
This might be a good background movie. You put it on, you're just like, hey, nice, what's going on?
Yeah, you
Scroll
could
your
look up
phone
every
a little
5
bit.
minutes and then it would be where you left off.
I'm wondering if there's going to be a director's cut, because I might be interested in that.
True.
Because if he had to change it up for some reason,
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff about him having to change up stuff in the movie.
so I'm hopeful for that. I would definitely watch it again if a second one came out or a director's cut came out of it.
So how high would you guys give for this movie? Like, I do how many ball rips?
I would say the higher the better, probably.
Yeah, I was gonna say like a good 7 maybe.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
blazed.
The more you have to question, the better. And then
And I feel like you wouldn't question the bad decisions
yeah,
made in that movie.
You get to laugh at Mark Ruffalo and
His sauce wife.
honestly, just adore the creatures in the movie. They gave
Yeah.
very much like Disney trying to create a new $1 million plushie. And I think it worked on me personally.
buy a
I kind of
plushie.
see it.
I'll buy a creeper plushie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that,
But also when I heard creepers, I thought of Minecraft.
Yeah, me too. I was like, they couldn't think of anything else.
But yeah, I feel like a good 7.
Well, we had a good time with this movie. Thank you for watching. Bye.
thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye. Have a good time.
Bye. Have a nice day. Goodbye.